3, 2, 1.
Smesh.
Hello, Computer Game Show, Turner, Bell,
Right.
Murray, Farlong.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, we're doing it again, aren't we? I mean, 3 hours last week you got out of us, and now you want it all again. So we've got. I'll be honest, not bang up for this one.
I'm not happy because we're already like an hour later nearly than we normally are. I mean, it's like, what's that about?
Well, I had a problem where I've had to sit. Harry's just been a nightmare recently. I don't know what he's going through, but he's just being a nightmare. And so I was late doing the washing up, and so I text you guys saying, "Oh God, I'm going to be like 10 minutes late." And then Matt was like half an hour late, and I was like, "Okay, Matt, okay, fine." So then we all got on at 9:30, and then Matt, what's going on with you?
Windows, isn't it?
Windows.
Well,
this is
I'd
the
install
problem.
Windows on my Mac just to test things out, and cannot get back into my Mac. So, yeah. I hope it doesn't go too long, so I need to go to Tesco after this and buy a £9 keyboard.
But also, I'm not reading emails at like 1 o'clock this morning. That's not happening.
You're doing it at 2 a.m.
What? James, you'll do what we tell you to do, mate. This is, you show a little bit of respect for the show.
This will not be a 3-hour show. If you're listening to this and you're looking at the time and it says 4.5 hours, I don't know what's going to happen.
Heavy rain came up again.
Because right now we've got nothing. But if you're looking at it and says, God, this is an awfully long show this week, I don't know what's going to happen over the next 3 hours.
Feedback.
James is going to lose it, frankly.
An hour and a half.
Let's hear that feedback.
Fine.
Let's hear that lovely feedback.
Most of the feedback was spoilery, so we're not going to go into it. But suffice to say, well, most of it was around Heavy Rain and the end of James's story. And people are annoyed, people are happy, people can't believe it. You've also inspired some people to actually play the game. James, you're doing something right.
James, you know that a lot of people were talking about how there was one specific thing that you had trouble with. It was explained at the end if you'd have made it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was referring to when I said about the killer being in the crowd that time. Mm-hmm. See, I'm trying to skirt around the issue about that.
No, but also I've been doing some like more research about this, like about the actual about the story and everything. And apparently there was a whole supernatural element to this that they just removed like at the last minute. They removed it at the last minute and then just left it out. So that's most of the reason for all the plot holes.
Right, okay, well, I've not read that. I've not even heard
that's
that.
Insane. What? How would they ever say that Ethan was going crazy or he was
supposed to be
negligent because of the aliens?
No, what it was, it wasn't that. They were apparently there was going to be some sort of weird psychic link between Scott Shelby and Ethan that was forged at the moment when Jason died. And that's what that was supposed to be.
Right,
and the blackouts,
I don't believe any of that. Where did you read this?
No, the blackouts are supposed to be connected with that.
I know he read it. I love Japanese games. The premier.
Seriously, it was. Oh, do you know? I don't want to talk about this because the thing is, it was. It was from a YouTube video, and it's like
YouTube. It wasn't Alex Jones, was it?
Yeah.
Do you know, I'm gonna find this out and then I'm gonna tweet about this later.
They're fucking ganneting a copy of the Yellow Pages and talking about the psychic stuff in Heavy Rain.
Do not believe
I mean,
the
supernatural shit was what completely ruined Fahrenheit.
And that's why he removed it, apparently, because he wanted it to be more down to earth.
What? I'm pretty sure he started Heavy Rain quite a few years after Fahrenheit.
Yeah. That's why he removed it at the last minute.
Because that's when they realised it was... I don't know. Look, just fuck the lot of you, because it's annoying me now.
It's starting early.
Should we explain? Right, there's a couple of things that I need to explain to you that happened between the last show and this one. The first being that James texted me directly after we started. We ended the recording for last week's show saying, "No, I'm genuinely pissed off about this week." Why did you get so heated? Why were you so angry?
Because you just wouldn't listen to anything. It was all just like, I've got to have my David Turner's moment. I've got to be all like, you're talking nonsense or whatever, and you just weren't listening to anything. It was
I was listening.
Irritating.
I was listening because I was responding to everything, and then you just lost your shit every time.
It's because
Let's have a discussion.
No, because you wouldn't engage in any debate. You were just like, no, next, and like that, and it's rubbish.
I think you need. Have you listened back to it?
No.
I think you should listen back to it and realise who wasn't engaging in a debate. You is the answer.
It's just like arguing with a Gamergator. You're sort of going, I'm trying to engage you in a serious debate, and you're
and then just coming out with bullshit.
About ethics. It's like,
It's about ethicsing David Cage. The other thing that happened was we got multiple tiers through a system in order to try and line up an interview with David Cage. So James Farley could ask him his questions that he had over the Heavy Rain plot. And I'm absolutely bummed out because I just explained to James why a 10-year-old had a subscription to an origami magazine. And that would have been beautiful for him to have asked David Cage that, and for David Cage to just laugh in his face.
It's so good because I thought, okay, I'll email Quantic Dream. It could be incredible. They responded super quickly saying, oh, okay, right, yeah, if you want this, you need to contact this person. And then so James.
And then it got raised to like the head.
Yeah, I was going. James said, "Oh, this would be amazing. This happens." Then that person from Sony responded really quickly, saying, "Oh yeah, I've sent your request over to this person." And James was like, "Okay, I don't want to do this." He got a sense
that was the weird thing. James was well up for it.
Yeah,
you must have misread that.
Oh, okay.
Do you know who wasn't up for it?
Sean.
Oh yeah, Sean Bell, of course. Yeah,
that was so weird, Sean.
I'm pulling back.
What was that all about? You weren't even involved, and you went, I don't want to be involved. Something you weren't, mate.
So when I said that, I thought the idea was like we would just have him on the show.
You said,
who's your replacement, Sean?
And I was, that'd work actually, wouldn't it? No, and I was just like, I can't be. I don't like him. I don't like his work. I just.
Sean,
I'd just be laughing throughout.
Are you saying you would refuse to be on the show if David Cage was on the show?
No, of course I'd have to be on it.
There we go.
Just as well, because joining the Discord group tonight is...
See, the only thing I was worried about...
I did the Kane and Rince episode about Too Human, and it turned out bloody Dennis Dyack listened to it.
Oh, God, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
but you were defending it.
The only thing I was worried about was the fact that I'd called him a hack on numerous occasions while I was playing the game. That's the only thing I was bothered about. But apart from that, I was well up for having a conversation about some of that stuff.
I remember the quote, David Cage, 4 times during your playthrough. Like you were genuinely disappointed with what he was doing on the screen. At least they didn't walk out at the start during the tutorial. That was probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a game. Like he did in Fahrenheit.
One of the big revelations from the week, actually, is that James's favourite character, Blake, is actually called Carter Blake. Because I also tried to get involved. I tried to get in contact with his voice artist, named by the name of Mike Powers, but he's an elusive motherfucker, and I have not been able to track him down. He's on IMDb's and other things, but I haven't. If anyone knows Mike Powers, he was in the Transporter 3 in 2008. And Love Crime in 2010.
Man, so I'd just like to get him to say some things.
Exactly.
I'd just get him to insult me in his Brooklyn accent.
Yeah, ring him up and call James a fucking arsehole, and we have got podcast gold there. What's his name again?
His name is Mike Powers. Yeah, he was in Transporter 3. He was a croupier in the film Lucky Stiff in 2014. If anyone knows him, please get in contact. Or the joke may have run a bit too
He must
long
have an agent.
Yeah, basically, if you're an IMDb Pro user, you can get in contact with the agent, and I wasn't willing to pony up the cash.
How much was it?
I don't know. I didn't dare look. I mean, I like paying for jokes as much as the next man, but come on.
Isn't there any money left from the 40 quid? That we could...
No, we spent that about 10 times over.
Yeah, we have.
Every time we want to buy anything, like the 40 quid. No, that's what's paying for hosting right now.
So I've just
we should remind people, actually, you can advertise on the show, 40 quid. I mean, that idea died down when no one responded, but you can advertise on the show, 40 quid, whatever you want.
The offer's always there.
Yeah, it's always there. It's always
40
going.
So
quid.
I've just gone on Google and I've typed in Mike Powers, and the auto-suggestions include Mike Powers Wonderwall and Mike Powers Pop. So there are people who obviously are trying to search for Mike Flowers Pops and got it wrong.
I love that shit. Right, okay, cool. Any other feedback?
I mean, so Jake Invaders on Twitter. Did Sean piss in David's chips before recording? Called out for his streaming. Shunned from the dinner party. Poor Sean.
So I invited him to the dinner party.
Yeah, can I explain? I didn't shun Sean. It's just I've known Matt and James. I mean, it's not a personal thing. I love Sean. I feel he's great to hang out with. I just, it's Matt and James, isn't it? I mean, it was James and Matt that stabbed me in the back, like in a disgusting turn. Oh no, Matt, you had me at yours. No, that's fine. Sorry, I do apologise. But yeah, James is a scumbag. If James had gone first, then Sean would have been invited to mine, no doubt. As for the stream thing, sometimes you've got to be told. You know what I mean? Sean does come across on this show as a bit untouchable. And every now and then you've just got to remind him.
You've got to bring him down to earth.
Yeah, totally. Next.
He's not invincible. Anyway, there was also discussions about the fact that we didn't accurately describe Splatoon 2 enough. And again, I just want to apologise from everyone at the show that we didn't explain the mechanics of that. Matthew Plater, just thought I should say, when talking about a game, you never explain how to insert, download or install any of the updates for the games. That's unprofessional. Peter Parrish, getting way ahead of ourselves here, guys. Can we first establish the social biological fundamentals of why humanity enjoys these games? I mean, we can go far back. I mean, dinosaur time, who knows? But yeah, once again, sorry, Chris. We will explain.
Computer games are now $1 billion industry.
I'm so addicted to games.
I should say, Matthew Plater, if you're listening, I've still got one of your prints in my fucking living room. I bought off him about.
All right, mate. This ain't fucking Twitter.
I'm just saying. We bought it off him like 10 years ago, and it's
What is this? Also, John, do you fancy a game of Rocket League? Just give me a text. Yeah. What is this? Right, okay. So has Chris got back in touch again? Has he?
I mean, he had some tweets, but I didn't collate them on the feedback.
But they're not worth
but basically, he said something about the fact that the same coin explained game mechanics on their recent episode really, really well.
Oh, did they? The same coin did it? Oh God, we got to do it then. If the same coin are doing it, the same coin doing it, Matt. Have you heard it?
Well, they've got a market sewn up, Dave, in terms of explaining game mechanics.
Blimey, how are we going to compete with the same coin, Matt?
I'm thinking about deleting the feed tomorrow. The podcast is dead. Thanks a lot.
Next question.
Obviously, other than the spoiler chat about Heavy Rain, everyone was extremely excited about Dave's imminent Banjo-Kazooie stream. Chris Johnson...
Literally no one.
Chris Johnson, head of the host of Play One podcast, Chris Johnson, looking forward to watching your upcoming speedrun of Banjo-Kazooie, Dave. But basically, other people saying, bring on the 26 live stream. That's great. Rusty Trombone. After the Banjo-Kazooie and Cupcake debacles, can we confirm that David Turner has finally gone totally batshit mental?
What? Nick, what is that? Like, it's batshit mental to like cupcakes.
Well, no, but not your favourite cake. I mean, that is insane. Okay, let's move on.
Nick, who are you? No, let's not move on.
No, okay, let's not move on.
I literally don't even remember this cupcake thing. What happened? Was I just?
I like cupcakes. That's the long and short of it.
That's okay.
It's not just that. It's they were elevated to the status of being the best cake by David.
No, my favourite, my personal favourite. Yeah, apparently I'm not allowed to have that. Also, apparently it's impossible to complete Banjo-Kazooie 25 times. That is an impossibility.
I really... Okay,
oh my God, he's stepping up again, Sean.
No.
He's stepping up again. See how this goes.
Have the stage, James.
No, all I want to say is, David, for the show, can't you do it for one more time? Like, make it 26?
Yeah, I'd be happy to, right? But we need... All right, calm down. We need a reason. We need something. What am I working towards? Because
you're working towards your 26th time. You're working towards your 26th time as fast as possible.
Yeah, and especially because you'll know everything about it.
James almost convinced me then, and then he added that little thing as fast as possible.
No,
what does that mean?
As we've got, like Chris Johnson saying here, like, upcoming speedrun of Banjo-Kazooie. It's all the rage these days, the speedrunning stuff. I think you should do that, and you're an expert because you've done it 25 times. So
you're saying I'm an expert. I can't remember.
If you've done it 25 times, you must be pretty good at it.
20 years ago, James.
Oh, it's muscle memory, though, isn't it? It doesn't go.
Yeah, 25 times. You do not forget that shit. It's like riding a Banjo-Tooie. Nick G, I completed it 25 times. I don't believe you. Odd that you don't, but fair enough. Should have ended the conversation there. Farley made it mental.
He did make it mental. You just lost your shit. And I still think, I said to Matt last night, I still think it was one of the funniest things, just watching Matt just slowly slink off. I know Matt was sitting there thinking, no, this has gone a bit mental, isn't it? I'm going to leave now.
Yeah, I mean, it was a mental thing just to say 25 times, but then James took it up a notch.
That is just weird. I cannot get my head around why you find that mental.
No, it's not. It's fine, but can you make a promise here that you will do a stream of this?
I can stream it. Yeah, I'm not. But I don't. Right. I will attempt to stream it. It depends how, because I mean, I don't know if you've streamed on the fucking Xbox One, but it's a nightmare. I'll give it a go and then see how it.
I don't know if you tried to play games on the Xbox One. It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I must admit, I booted it up the other day, and it was doing that thing where you try and launch a game, and it says, "Be patient, we're trying to launch it for you." What? What the fuck?
These we in that sentence.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, we're preparing the game for you.
Yeah, there's two people at the back there. I thought, okay, I might get Tacoma, and then I saw reviews, and I thought, actually, I don't need to bother. But I thought, okay, if I want to get it, I better boot up the console on Monday or Sunday. I think it was Sunday night. I thought let's boot it up Sunday night so I can get all the downloads, all the updates, and then if I want to play a game on Tuesday, I can actually play it. I didn't bother. So on to the next game.
Because it is just like Windows, isn't it? It's like if I ever boot up Windows, it's the same thing. It's like there's always just tons of updates and things that need to be done. The Xbox is the same. It's very irritating.
Well, I'm sure the PS3s do the same thing. CG at Dark Insight Pod, talking about expensive iOS games as we did last week. I think one of the questions was the most you'll pay for a mobile game or something, or words to that effect. Final Fantasy 9 came out last week on iOS, £20.49p.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Square are particularly bad for that, to be fair.
That is an awful lot of money. That is it for the feedback this week. If you want to send us tweets, it's at ComputerGamePod on Twitter or thecomputergameshow@gmail.com.
Now, things happen in the gaming industry, don't they? And we all sit there and we all talk about them and, whoa, what's going to happen next? Which way Nintendo are going to go now? What's happened? What the bloody hell's happened? Well, Sean's here to tell you. That's what he does now. That's his job. Sean, what's happened in the world of gaming this week?
Destiny 2 has teamed up with Pop-Tarts.
Yes!
Finally!
If I'd have brought this sort of news, there would have been... David would have been furious if I'd have done this.
Obviously it's bollocks. It just interests me that, the fact that... So this is mainly an American thing, right? This doesn't really happen here.
Because the Red Bull thing over here, did it ever even fully come over here? Because obviously Red Bull over in the States, if you bought that with certain Destiny, the original Destiny cans, there were... Stuff, I'm sure you got codes. Yeah, in the
I am pretty sure it did come out over here.
It did, okay.
I'm almost certain it did. Yeah, it was for an extra strike or something.
Yeah, it's some sort of exclusive mission, but yeah, but this, it feels like this happens loads over there, but less so over here.
Yeah. I just find it, I don't know. So obviously it's a bit
What is it,
gross.
Sean?
Well, they've not really said. That's the thing. They've tweeted.
Mystery, I like that.
So, tweeted a picture saying, Destiny 2 and Pop-Tarts, two legends that are seriously upping their game.
Legends.
Brace yourselves. It's coming.
I'm going to tell my children of the legend of some pastry with icing on top that you pop into the toaster. And it makes you feel ill for the rest of the day.
I mean, who, I like Destiny and I fucking like Pop-Tarts, right? I'm not above this. But to just who reads that tweet and is just like, oh my god, it's coming, guys.
Who subscribes to Pop-Tart's Twitter account?
Well, yeah, and that. To be fair, I follow the Phantomans and Fridge Twitter accounts, so I can't really complain.
What did the Fridge guys say?
Stuff about milkshakes.
I tweeted them not too long ago because I'm trying to track down the advert that I did for them. Genuine advert that I did for
I'm sure I got it on file, Dave, definitely. Yeah, I'm sure that's saved on their server somewhere.
Yeah. It's got to be somewhere, isn't it? Someone archives all this shit.
No, it was for Fridge is getting bored about your little advert.
No, I don't think they bothered it because I'm in it, Matt. I'm not. I've got an ego. I haven't got that. My ego's not that big. But they must have the history of all their adverts and stuff. Surely, it was. If you work for Fridge, it was the sponsor advert for Eliminate, the Kerry Katona dating show. Track it down. I'm on there somewhere with one of the 118 people. Go on.
Amazing. Middle-earth Shadow of War. They've announced that it's got loot boxes.
Of course
so
it has.
you
It's
can
a video game.
So it's the usual deal in that there's a normal in-game currency and then there's gold, which you can earn in-game, but you won't earn a lot of it, and you can pay real money for it. And it allows you to purchase loot chests, which will give you basically like little bundles with like generals in them and sort of, you know, various items, weapons, stuff like that, and like experience boosters. And it's just a bit weird. This is in a single player game.
These like chests, is it like blind ones, as in like you don't know what you're going to get?
Blind bags.
Seems so, yeah. They haven't gone into a massive amount of details. It might be fine, right? Because they've said everything that's in the boxes you can earn in game, but the question is obviously, are they going to make earning it a total fucking slog so that you'll want to pay up?
See, it's kind of interesting because there was an argument I think on NeoGAF the other day where they were talking about these boxes and how it's gambling basically, isn't it? Like you're basically gambling, and it's. I mean, this is banned in China. Like in games in China, you can't do this. It's not allowed, because it's gambling. You know, you put money down and you don't know what you're going to get. Maybe you're going to get something good. There's like odds and everything, but kids are playing this stuff as well. So should it be regulated? Yeah, because it is. Gambling.
I thought in China they can have it, but they also have to publicise the drop rates.
Yeah, they have to publicise drop rates, but also kids aren't allowed to engage. I don't think. Either.
Also, after all the stuff you told us about what goes on in China and what they regulate, it's kind of like, well, I mean, you can try and take the more high ground, China, but some of the shit you do is outrageous. Follow Interface for more exciting China stories.
But I don't know. Like, it reminds me of when I can't remember if it was Skate 2 or 3 came out, and that basically you could pay like £4 and it would just complete the game for you and just unlock everything. And it just reminds me of that a bit. Like, the whole thing with Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War is it's all about this, you know, this weird system where you'll sort of, you know, manipulate the ranks of the Orc army to like get your own generals and stuff, and you develop a relationship with them as the game goes on. So to just buy them seems well shit.
Yeah, I have a bit of a controversial viewpoint on this stuff at the moment.
Go on.
Here we go.
I think this could potentially be a really good thing for computer games. And the reason why I say that is that I think we will start to see a death to regular DLC content packs, and instead it be replaced with, you know, this sort of in-game microtransaction stuff. You look at something like Rainbow Six, which come out, and that had the same criticisms before it launched than what this is probably getting. Where they were saying, look, you can earn in-game renown and you buy operators with that renown, you buy guns, you buy skins and all that sort of stuff with this renown. Of course, you can buy renown with physical money. But on the flip side, we got a hell of a lot of content for free. And even, you know, things like new characters, which they were charging for, could still be unlocked by earning enough in-game currency through playing it. And I just kind of think, I would much rather that than not have the microtransactions. Do you know what I mean? If they're making more money from selling these little bits and pieces, as long as they're not impacting the game in a negative way, then I've got no problem in doing that. If they're going to put what they would have charged for, make that free. So I'm still getting free content. It will keep me playing the game for longer. But at the same time, I think that totally makes sense, because introducing especially for multiplayer games, forgetting the Lord of the Rings game for a second, when it comes to multiplayer games, you want people playing for as long as possible. And if you're introducing this microtransaction stuff, then bringing out paid for maps and stuff like that doesn't work for the game, because all that's going to do, people are going to get to that point where they still want to play the game, but then the player base is so divided with who's got this content and who hasn't, that they just give up and they stop playing. Whereas they want as many people to continue playing so that they have the potential of getting revenue from microtransactions out of them. So that's what it feels like to me. For example, Battlefield 1, I wanted to go back and play this week. partly because I saw Dunkirk. Completely different war, but it didn't matter. It's just in my head that I wanted to play Battlefield 1. And then my mate was like, yeah, we'll play Battlefield 1. And I thought, yeah, but you've got the latest content packs, right? So I can't play any of those maps you're playing. This is pointless. And it kind of put me off playing it. But you make that stuff free and you introduce microtransactions for hopefully cosmetic stuff, because I think that is the way forward. And that's the only time I've ever really bought something through microtransactions. It's not been through where I've been strong-armed, because that tends to turn me off. Whereas something like Rocket League, I play it for ages and I think, it'd be cool if I buy like a more unique car from the ones that you see. And they've changed that with this loot box system. I just think that's a better way of doing it. It keeps people playing. It doesn't destroy the player base, and it's more optional. It feels more optional, so part of you feels more likely that you're going to spend money on it, if that makes sense.
Isn't this what they've done? EA are doing with Battlefront as well, because of the fact that it got really fractured, like the first game.
Well, have they said that they're not charging for additional maps?
Well, I don't know if they're not charging, but they said that everyone's going to be on the same page with it. So I'd assume that means people are not going to be charged, for stuff, because
hopefully
it got horrendously fragmented, and then
How about you, James? Because I know that you're dead against microtransactions, or you have been in the past. But how do you feel if that was the way things were going? That map packs would be free, but there'd be microtransactions in from the start.
I think it doesn't bother me if it's for cosmetic stuff. It's when it's stuff that's going to change, the way the game plays or give you a significant advantage. That's where I think it's not so good. I have problems with that. I feel
like publishers could get a lot of goodwill by just if one of them just came out and said, "Look, you might not like this stuff, but it keeps people in jobs." Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If they could go, "Look, here's how much we made from adding stupid microtransactions, and here's the people we were able to hire as a result or keep in jobs, and this is the stuff we were able to do with it." And actually show us where that money goes, and then I think people might feel a bit less scummy about it.
Yeah, but also, if it keeps the game alive, I think that's a great thing. And I think you're right, Dave, in terms of Rocket League. Rocket League doesn't need that, but the fact that people are buying things like skins and aerials and whatnot, I'm sure that's obviously it's a hugely successful game, but I'm sure there's other games where that sort of stuff has kept a game going for a lot longer.
Well, I think Rainbow Six is a huge, because one of the bits of news that I picked up on this week is that Rainbow Six has now got 20 million players, right? Whether they're active players or not, I don't know. I don't know.
It says 20 million registered players and 2.3 million daily active users.
Right. That I put down to its the way it's set up, the business side of things. I was able to I can log into Rainbow Six now, and we plan to play Rainbow Six booted back up again this week. I'm able to log in and have as much content as everyone else. Some of it is locked away because it's I haven't played it enough to get enough renown to unlock the DLC characters, but ultimately we can all be playing on the same maps. It's all balanced, and it would be just going back to the game with no barriers, no problems there. I wasn't able to do that with Battlefield. There was that worry that we were going to get matched into the wrong maps, or my mate wasn't able to play the map that he likes out of the new content packs and stuff. So it was kind of we were less likely to boot that up again. So I think Rainbow Six is an excellent example of where this works. And something's telling me that this is where we're going with this, and it plays into that whole the hero games, Overwatch and stuff like that. That seems to be working, and if that's where we're going, I'm not going to freak out when games now announce that they're going to have microtransactions in them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just the lottery stuff is the only stuff I think is not so good, to be honest. The whole, you're not sure what you're going to get, and that it just feels a bit scummy, really.
Yeah, like I've said before, I've never, beyond owning the game, I've never put any money into Overwatch or Titanfall 2. I'm more likely to put money into Titanfall 2 because I can actually just choose a skin that I think looks cool and pay £2 for it. Whereas with Overwatch, it's maybe spend £50 and still not get a single thing you want.
Yeah, look at Matt. Look at Matt with Fire Emblem. How much?
Matt.
Well,
That is true.
I started playing the game again this week, actually.
How much did you spend?
No, nothing.
Did you do you get angry at Kinder Surprise, James?
My son does. He gets annoyed. He's like, "Oh no, it's the same one again!" And it's like,
it's the croc figure again.
Yeah.
All right, okay, cool. Next story, I guess.
Some nerds have data mined Splatoon 2.
They have,
and they've uncovered, surprise, we're getting new weapons and maps. So they've basically, so they've confirmed it looks like we're getting Kelp Dome and Blackbelly Skate Park, which were both in Splatoon 1, which I'm all right with. Like,
are they good maps?
They are good. Kelp Dome especially is very good. On the one hand, it feels a bit cheap putting Splatoon 1 stuff in, but then on the other hand, it's like, well, why not just put all of it in? Like, it's basically
I was about to say,
so happy with that, I guess. 2 new Salmon Run stages are in there. I should say, it's not clear if this stuff is actually like in the game but just not turned on yet, or they've just found references to it, like bits of text or whatever that's sort of gone in. So what else? Grizzco, the guys who run Salmon Run, they're getting like their own weapon brand. So presumably there'll be loads of different guns sort of based on their sort of weird, sketchy aesthetic. And not totally clear what this means, but apparently there are references to playable Octoling characters. So they're the baddies in the main campaign. So yeah, that would be cool if that was like a whole new thing they added, but I don't know. We'll see.
What are the best maps on Splatoon 1? Are they in the game as it stands, or is there a fan favourite that everyone wants or wishes was in Splatoon 2?
There was I can't remember what it was called, but it was very good. It was like a sort of summer camp thing with all sort of, I can't remember if it's like Native American stuff or like Maui stuff dotted around. And that was really smart. It was just this really interesting sort of most of the maps are basically symmetrical, right?
Yeah.
This like totally wasn't. It was just a really weird, interesting layout with all sort of different levels and moving platforms and stuff. It was really smart. It'd be cool to see that back in. Basically that and Kelp Dome. I'm excited.
There's no paid DLC at all in Splatoon.
No, there never was in the first one. It looks like they're following the same thing here. I mean, reference our previous discussion, they probably could get away with charging for small things, but yeah, it looks like they're just keeping it totally free, which is nice.
Good. It is nice. Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Right. Let's get started with breezing through it this week. Thank God. Let's get into what we've been playing this week. Let's start with Sean.
So more Splatoon 2. Obviously, we've just had the first proper Splatfest. Team Mayo, nice one, boys.
That's
I mean, dodgy, innit?
Oh yeah.
Everyone, like, what is this about? Loads of people are like,
I can't believe this wasn't top of the news, by the way, Sean. How is this not the big news?
I knew we'd get
week?
into it when we're talking about the game. So people are complaining. People on Team Ketchup are complaining that it's
the losers are complaining.
The losers are
giving
complaining.
Their real name.
I mean, really, they should all just shut up and just get on with the task.
Yeah, get over it. Mayo's the king.
So it sounds a bit of Brexit there, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So Team Ketchup. Team Ketchup was far more popular than Team Mayonnaise, and yet Team Mayonnaise won. And the way it scored is, I know we touched on this briefly before, but people like it when we explain things at punishing length. So there are three categories. So the first one is just who got more votes, and you get a point if you got the most votes. And then the second one is like who won the most team battles, which is where like 4 people are 4 people on the same side have got together and fought against 4 people on the other side who've actually come together. So you can join up with 3 mates and do that, or you can just play on your own. For some reason, they're tallied separately. I don't know why. So there's team battles and there's solo battles. And then whoever wins most of each of those gets a point. So Team Ketchup got the most votes, so got a point for that. But then Team Mayonnaise won the most battles on solo and teams. So people on Team Ketchup are kicking off and saying, well, I went on and it was just putting me against other people from Team Ketchup all the time. So I think it's rigged. No, it's not rigged. There's just more of you. So obviously it's going to struggle to always find you a game against people from the other side. How is that?
So surely it's completely flawed then, because I mean, you got people that, I mean, it's like I'm trying to think of a decent way of putting this, but I mean, you're not guaranteed. What if all the Team Ketchup ones that counted were just idiots, and we've got some like real class players that are banging on the door to try and get a game, but they can't get in?
Well, surely just law of averages, like that's just going to work itself out. Like it's going on for 24 hours.
Hoping on law of averages there, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm not convinced.
I don't understand what people want. Do you literally want to just sit in a lobby for 20 minutes while it waits?
No. No, I don't. I just want the truth to come out.
So it puts you in
the swamp.
So it puts you in, So it puts you in a friendly match, and like, yes, it doesn't count towards your team's, win total. But you still get experience points. You still rank up within the Splatfest, and that still gets you the Splatfest rewards. So who gives a shit?
You talking now, Sean, sounds like you're Reggie at the next Direct. Nintendo Direct.
It also sounds like a football supporter whose like team has like won because of like something awful that's happened, and then you just say, "Oh no, it all evens itself out over the season."
But you sent off 3 of our players for nothing. Yeah, but don't worry about that. What would you rather do?
You win some, you lose some.
The football. You win some,
but yes, the main headline is the right team won.
Has a petition been started?
I don't
Surely
know.
people need to be getting down to Downing Street, or marching down to Nintendo headquarters to. This is disgusting, isn't it?
So I was trying to find some YouTube videos of like really angry people, over this, but unfortunately I couldn't find any. So I was
that dude with the long hair that always seems to have a go at Anita Sarkeesian. That guy. I bet he's furious. I bet he's really kicking it, because in America the actual vote was insane, wasn't it? Wasn't it like 20% or something to mayo? And
something ludicrous like that.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
It's interesting that mayonnaise won in like every territory. That's weird.
Yes, that is weird, isn't it, Sean? That's where I'm starting to think about putting an opinion piece together and dismantling this whole system that is clearly Nintendo bullshitting their way because they've been paid by, was it Hellman's man?
Hellman's.
Did they tweet? Did their Twitter account get involved? Because if they haven't, what the fuck are they up to? I'd have been
get
all
involved.
over that.
What, in terms of responding to the accusations that it's rigged?
No, like I'm talking about like Heinz.
I see.
Yeah, like I'd have been all over that. Cartoon ketchup. Whatever.
If they'd been smart, that would have been,
I'm quite, I was Team Ketchup. Mm-hmm. I'm quite happy Mayo won. I like mayo. I like mayonnaise. I just think it was the wrong choice. But I'm happy to step back and say, well done, boys. Your team won this time.
Yeah, it's time to accept it. Let's just move on for the good of the country. The decision's been made, and let's see how the next 2 years are going to pan out.
I am happy to accept it. I'm also very happy to read tweets from angry ketchup team players, because I cannot imagine what that life's like. Like sitting in front of their Switch at 4:00, where the time ticked over and the results were shown, and it is sitting there going, "No, there's no fucking way that mayonnaise has beaten tomato ketchup, and I am going to tweet now."
This isn't what the opinion polls said at all. The exit polls were totally wrong. How has this happened again?
I mean, this is the thing with Splatfest. It's like we argue about it and stuff, and it's just because it's always like it's obviously bollocks.
No, so it's not, Sean.
So it's just funny to appear to take it quite personally and have heated debates about it. But of course, whoever's better at Splatoon does not decide whether or not ketchup or mayonnaise is better. And the fact that seemingly some people need to have that explained to them is fascinating.
Yeah, I cannot believe you need to say that. Yeah. But there you go. Here we are. It's 2017 and Twitter exists.
Yeah. But more broadly, it was cool just seeing a lot of people, because this is people's first Splatfest. Like, obviously the demo happened, but people, just from the demo, you wouldn't have... it's cool because you get used to the way the game normally is, and it's normally daytime. And then, during the week, you see, the setup for Splatfest. Like the stage starts getting put together and stuff, and then on the day where it actually happens, like you know, that sort of plaza area is like completely transformed. It's nighttime and it's all different music and shit, and like all the stages are different, and it's just like people just really enjoying it, which is really cool to see.
And like I mean, there's still some weird shit with Splatfest, because I read somewhere that, you know, it's one of the rare things where where you can get together with your friends, right? Apparently, you can only get together if you've got a full team of 4.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, it's shite, isn't it?
Yeah, that's shite. Secondly, I don't think 24 hours is enough. I genuinely don't. I think it should be a weekend thing. It should kick off Friday night and go on till Sunday, late Sunday.
Yeah.
It just feels wrong that it's 24 hours because, you know, sometimes you just don't get the chance to go on within 24 hours. But as a Friday night thing or a Sunday, if you extend it over the weekend, you're bound to find a little bit of time to get on. I mean, I managed to get about half an hour to an hour's worth on it. Yeah. The other thing was, obviously, like, Splatfest starts, and I thought the Team Ketchup t-shirt was fucking brilliant, and to know that now that just gets deleted, like, it's so weird. I did hear that if you played during Splatfest, you get a gift. What's that?
So you get, depending on what rank you get to. So basically, every time you do a match, you get points, you rank up. And at the end of it, you get these items called sea snails, which you can then use to add ability slots to your gear.
Oh, right. Okay.
So then basically, then you can, so once you've, like, you know, because I got to like maximum rank and you get like 24 sea snails. So I was then able to go and look at the gear I've got and then look at like the lower level stuff. So I can look at, you know, so might have a pair of trainers that I like the look of, and it's got a main ability that I really like, but it's only got one extra, you know, one secondary ability. I can then just add another 2, and then that's like a totally viable, like, top level piece of gear. So yeah, that's really cool, because now people have got these sea snails, like, that everyone's going back and looking at, like, actually putting builds together rather than just sort of wearing what looks cool or whatever. So that's been interesting as well. So
I just, that whole not keeping a t-shirt thing, I think is ridiculous. Like, even if you've got to trade something in the inventory so that it's not going to be like completely useless or whatever, I don't care. It's just having that as a sort of memento for your character would be so, like, it's such a good idea. And I'm surprised Nintendo, I mean, it seems like such an obvious idea as well.
Yeah.
Why are Nintendo not doing that? It's weird.
I don't know.
But there you go. I enjoyed my first Splatfest. Even if I only got to play it for an hour or so, I thought it's got potential. I hope that they make a few adjustments to it. I'm not 100% sure they will, but there you go. It's Nintendo, isn't
it? In addition to that, I've gone back to Tumbleseed because they've done this massive...
the update come out?
Yeah, the update's out. And it's
update.
The 4 Peaks update, as they've called it. And it's fucking great. Has it
really improved it?
Yeah. So the 4 Peaks are basically. So you know the game originally you had like the forest bit, then the jungle bit, and then God knows what after that, because I never even got that far.
You didn't get to the third bit?
I think I did once, but I couldn't even tell you what it was. I was too busy stressing out to actually take any of it in. So now, like, you can still play that mode. That's called adventure mode, and there's still like daily challenges, and then there's a weekly challenge as well. But now there's like each of those areas can be played in isolation, but it's like a bit longer. So you can do like the forest bit, and then like each one has its own. You know, it had like the quests you could do previously. Yeah. They're now specific to each of these levels, so you can just spend a lot of time in the forest bit and then get good and earn some. Like, every time you do a quest, you get one of these new auras, which are all really helpful, whereas previously, you know, these auras were in the game, but they were like as likely to fuck you over as they were to help you.
Yeah.
So now, like, the first one you get is, it makes it so that when you get hit, you don't lose all your thorns, and it's like, that's huge. That's really helpful.
Yeah.
And it just properly feels like everything you do gives you a bit of a leg up now, which was like, that was in the game originally, but it was so much work. And yeah, so I'm just having loads of fun just chipping away at it now, and feeling like I'm contributing without, like, you know, constantly doing shit runs and just being like, oh, that was a fucking waste of time. So yeah, properly chuffed with that.
The most exciting thing for me is that for the Switch version, they've added a 2-player battle mode, like split screen battle mode.
Yeah.
I don't really know how that'll work. I guess you need two sets of you need 2 sets of Joy-Cons, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, of course.
Like you couldn't just split the pad, but I mean, to be able to try that next time we're all together, I think would be good fun because it's a really stressful game. And you're freaking out, and to have 2 people doing that on the same screen could be a lot of fun. Watching someone just like fall off and all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
see, that's the other thing as well. What's cool about this update is, doing these levels in isolation. It's not half as stressful anymore. Like it's not easy by any means. It's just not like disgustingly hard, and you just feel like you can take it all in a bit better. Like you can appreciate how good the sound design is and the music, and like you can actually sort of appreciate the visuals rather than just like constantly stressing. So yeah, no, I'm very happy with it. Apparently it's on. I don't know if it is in the UK, but in the US it's on sale at the moment as well to celebrate.
Yeah,
this
it was £7, I think,
nice.
This week. I don't know if it's still available for that, but it was cheap.
Totally.
Have they released much in the way of like content or updates and whatnot, other than these seemingly quite fundamental gameplay mechanics? Have they released new maps or other things?
No, not that I'm aware of, but I think they were just fully working towards getting this up and running before they started pissing around too much. There was like a day 1 patch update, but that was just sort of minor bug fixes. But it looks like they're actually working on this properly now. So
yeah, I mean it's a roguelike, so you play the challenge mode and it is just randomly generating stuff every time you do it. So yeah, I don't know if they'll feel the need to add much more to it at this point. But
also, it's important to remember that I still really liked it before the update anyway, because it was difficult, but I found it really satisfying once I started progressing with it. But yeah, I mean, initially I absolutely hated it, and it wasn't until I started understanding what the game actually wanted you to do that I started liking it. So as someone that did enjoy that, I'm quite curious to see if these changes, like if I agree with them. I remember, do you remember Mega Coin Squad?
Yeah.
There's that had a single player game when it come to well on the PC, and it was really difficult, like insanely difficult. If you lost all your continues, you went back to the start of the world rather than just the level, and they changed that for the Xbox One version, and it really felt like it lost a lot. Like, because when I died, it was just like, okay, I'll do this level again. Whereas when I died on the PC version, it was like, oh my god, I've got to do that whole fucking world again, and it felt like a real punishment. And I felt that the game kind of lost a little bit of that when that was removed, and I'd be interested to see if I feel a similar way for Tumbleseed, if it's, I'm not usually that, I'm definitely not that sort of guy that goes, oh, they've made it too easy now. But at the same time, if it feels like it's missing something from making it too easy, it can be a little bit frustrating, Although saying that, the game's not just for me, and it, by the sounds of it, didn't sell particularly well.
Yeah, basically all the reviews complained about it being too hard. It's put a lot of people off, I think. But it looks like the devs are sort of really keen to hear how everyone's getting on with it. So I think they're trying to sort of treat it as a bit of a re-release. I think to try and get
their reaction's been fantastic, hasn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, it was very cool of them to, because it, like, when you work on something for so long and you generally think it's good, and then you bring it out and everyone complains about the same shit in it. Like, even though the complaints are unanimous, it must still be difficult to be like, well, okay, maybe they've got a point. It can't
You'll
be
never
easy.
hear me say that about a podcast. I'll tell you, it's not working on. I'll tell you that.
So for them to have taken that on board and fixed it in like the smartest way as well. It's not like they just went, oh, we'll give you more health, I suppose. Like
less
sort of
enemies would have been the
that,
real easy way to do it, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
less holes.
Yeah, to sort of appreciate, as they put it, that they made a game with a really good start and an end and forgot to put a middle in. Like, they've understood that it's a structural thing. It's not that it's too hard. It just doesn't build you up in the right way. And I think now it does. So that's very cool. I've also been playing Ironcast, also on the Switch.
What on earth is that?
Right, now, I didn't think I was going to like this because, you watch a trailer for it. It's got big fucking robots in it. It's steampunk, which but big robots, fine. I'm into that. And then you watch a trailer, and it's like, big robots fighting and shooting each other, and it's really good. And then it reveals that in the center of the screen is a big fucking match 3 puzzle game. So I was like, all right, well, never mind.
Perfect for me.
Not interested. Thing is, despite taking up most of the screen, that match 3 puzzle game is not like the core of it. What it actually is just a very cool sort of turn-based tactical combat game.
Oh god.
Sure, it's good.
So it just went down in my estimation. Oh, I've got a match and 3 game. Yeah, I'm interested. It's actually a turn-based. Nope.
So
basically, you've got
work,
like
Sean?
You what, sorry?
How do the controls work? Can you give us like a full breakdown?
So basically, it's purely turn-based. So you're not doing anything at speed. Put it that way.
Can you explain what turn-based means?
You can actually play it just with a touchscreen if you wanted, which makes me wonder if a tablet version's on the way. Because
touchscreen
that would work. Yeah, so it's a screen that you touch with your fingers, and it responds. It's got little sensors, and it responds to the point where you put your finger.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's obvious.
Um,
Sensors? No.
All right. Okay, that's it. That's enough now. Go on.
Enough? No.
So basically, you got a robot. You got a big robot on the left, which is your robot, and then the robot on the right is the enemy robot. And you're having a fight, and you're taking it in turns. And each turn, you get to do 2 matches on the grid, and there's all different colour icons which represent like power or ammo or whatever. So basically, your match 3 game is you just gathering resources to then do shit in the actual sort of turn-based combat thing. And it's just it's not too deep. It's just like a really nice level of depth that allows you to feel clever when you figure things out, but it isn't daunting. Like it's all about like you'll have 2 different weapons. One will be like a machine gun and one will be like a cannon or something. And then your defensive abilities are basically movement and shields, right? So you can spend like energy to get your shields up or to start your robot moving. And a shield will reduce every hit by like a certain amount of damage, whereas moving reduces the chances of you getting hit in the first place. So if you've got your shields up, you want to, the enemy needs to hit you with a cannon, whereas if you're moving, they want to hit you with a machine gun. And just the ways in which that gets interesting are just really cool. Like you can disable certain enemy systems by targeting them manually. So like you can figure out, right, well, I've got really good shields, but my engine's shit. So I'm going to make sure I take out his cannon, keep my shields up, and then I'm safe. And just stuff like that is really cool. You have to like fuck around like repairing certain subsystems. And it's just properly interesting and really exciting. It's got like a weird roguelike structure to it in that basically the game says like, right, you've got this giant robot is heading towards London, you've got 9 days. So you're just doing missions within those 9 days and trying to get as ready as possible. And then it does the cool thing of like you inevitably fail like the first few times. But you get stuff that then carries over into later games, so you start off with a slightly better footing and everything's a little bit easier. And yeah, it's proper good. Like it's been out on the PC for like 2 years or something. But it's one of those that I would never have played it on a PC because it's good for just a quick go. Whereas having it on the Switch just seems to be absolutely perfect.
Is the story decent? Are you playing it for that as much as the gameplay?
Not really. The dialogue's fine, but it's just all like 1800s England. Everyone is very posh, and the story's not really. It's not really anything. We're at war with France. That's the story.
Again,
there's a magic power source that they found, and they're fighting over it.
Typical.
Yeah. So that's the story. Yeah,
whoa.
Yeah, it's a good one. We're just really enjoying it. Really, really pleasantly surprised. Like I say, just looking at it, you're like, oh right, it's a fucking puzzle game, and it's like it's not really like the match 3 stuff. So you can link like diagonally as well as up, down, left, and right. So it's a bit of a joke, like how many things you can string together at once. It's really, it's not like Bejeweled or whatever, where you constantly like, oh fuck, then you're doing everything as quickly as you can. You've got all the time in the world, which absolutely suits me because I hate those games. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I remember people talking about it a couple of weeks ago, and then it looked really interesting, and then suddenly that match 3 thing came in from nowhere, and I was like, oh, okay, I won't knock on
Yeah, just like, all I can say is don't let that
what is
put you
everyone's
off.
deal with match 3s?
No,
Why is that a bad thing?
I've never really bothered, and it looked like it had an interesting sort of art style. I was like, okay, what's this? And then suddenly it's just like match some gems together. I was like, well, how's this even going to work together?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it does.
It's all about match 3 games. I've got time for them. Candy Crush is alright. People slag it off. It's alright. Pio Blocks 2 is just the best.
Yeah.
You know, Zookeeper. Chill out is what I'm saying. They're alright. They're good games.
Yeah, but
Freeze
I
is
think people are just
technically
a
one,
bit bored of them at this point, isn't it?
Well, who are you to say?
But
Are
no,
you
I mean,
some
like,
sort of
obviously-
expert on what people find boring, and then you go and talk about this game for God knows how long.
I mean, yeah, like obviously the point I'm making is that I was being snobby about it and I shouldn't have been. So
Yeah.
I
You've
suppose
learned
I'm
your
agreeing
lesson.
with you. I have.
You've learned your lesson, and it took your old mate Dave T to point that out to you. So you're welcome. although it definitely didn't. Okay, cool. Is that it?
That's me, yeah.
All right then, James. What you got for us, mate?
Well, I ain't got hardly anything. I mean,
brilliant. Okay, great show this week.
No, because there was Splatfest, obviously, which we've already talked about. I played a lot of Splatoon, and it was good. I mean, my daughter got a higher rank than I did in the Splatfest, because it's that thing, isn't it? Like you were saying about the times a day that you can play. Like she can kind of play in the afternoon, whereas I can't, and it's a bit annoying.
There's also the fact that you are fucking dog shit at computer games. So I think Heavy Rain proved that when you played it like a man who'd never held a controller in his hands.
Come on, those controls are terrible in Heavy Rain. They're not good. Did either any of you play it with the Move controllers?
No.
Because I'm just imagining what that must have been like.
I
will point out, though, once again, that none of us killed everyone in the game like you did. So
I got through that door boss really quickly.
Like James got the ending that I always assumed you had to go out of your way to get.
Oh shit, Matt, you know your little meme thing you did where you put some new music over? Oh no, you haven't. Right, okay, we've got to do that. We've got to clip the door bit and put some Dark Souls boss music over the top. That big operatic sort of. Yeah, do that. Get that done. Meme it up, lad. That's your job. Go on. Matt won't do that because he doesn't get Dark Souls, because he's another person that can't play video games for shit.
Well, it's less about I'm not going to do the first meme that didn't really catch fire again with. No, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, you fucked it.
I'm the meme king, Dave. If you want,
you say that you didn't get many retweets
and then
for that.
I'll review it.
You put some music over the top of the piano one. That didn't work. I wouldn't call you the king. No,
that didn't work. That's definitely lessons learned. I've done a wash-up session. I've said what did or didn't work. How can we improve for next time? What could we do differently? Yeah,
Matt's going to do a TED talk on what not to do with memes.
Well, I'm learning every day. If you learn by mistakes, man, am I educated right now?
That would be brilliant. That would, just imagine you on stage and playing them. Saying
to silence.
or rapturous applause. It depends.
No to silence. Go on.
To rapturous applause.
What you? Go on, James. Come on.
So I played that. I played The Witness, but the thing is, I've only played the first 25 puzzles of it, and that's it.
Can I get a witness? I've also played it.
We'll get to that because I've been playing it. Go on.
So, the thing is with that is I am actually really enjoying it, despite it being a Jonathan Blow game. It's it does seem very good, and I'm curious to see how the format is going to play out, because it is just line puzzles, isn't it? Basically, through the whole game.
Yeah,
I did say we'll get to that, but let's do it now then, shall we? Because I've been playing The Witness as well, and I do. When you say it is just line puzzles, it kind of is. I think it's fucking impressive how much he gets out of just line puzzles. There is stuff that I have had a few bits spoiled, as I said last week, but nothing that I've come across so far, and it's been fucking impressive to see what he's done with these line puzzles. There's been a few ideas repeated here and there, but I feel that for every 10 minutes I'm playing, I'm seeing a new idea based around these puzzles. And yeah, I'm like, right, that's interesting. The only problem I'm having so far is, first off, I know I'm early on. We'll get, I've not properly judged the game yet, but I am thinking, how the hell did this get on the list last year? I don't understand how it's on the list, but as I say, early doors. And the other thing I've got is that there are a few times where I've got somewhere and just totally brick-walled it, and that it feels really frustrating. Like, it's not fun to play that sort of stuff, especially when you've gone a long way to get to a point and you can't just easily go, okay, I'll go and concentrate on another area now, because you know that you've got a long way to walk back, and then you've got to go back there.
Once you learn the layout of the island, you'd be surprised how quickly you can get about.
Yeah, probably. You're probably right. But I guess I'm talking specifically about the windmill, when you go down to the bottom of the windmill.
Oh yeah.
And there's 2 puzzles down there that I'm kind of like, I don't even know what the rules are here or how to approach this. So I'll come back, but then when I think I've got it, I'll run back down there, and I'm kind of like, oh, it's this long thing, and then I've got to run back up because I'm clearly still an idiot and I need to come back to it. And yeah, I mean, to make me sit through, I've unlocked the first video clip. By the looks of it, there's a bunch of video clips that you have to watch down at the bottom of the windmill. I unlocked the first one. It was far too long. Am I mad in thinking that? Do you know what that's all about, that stuff?
Honestly, no.
Right, okay.
Because I unlocked, I think I only ever unlocked like 3 of them. So one was like a clip from an old sort of BBC.
Yeah, that's the one I've
documentary science thing. And then the other 2, I had no idea what they were. They just seemed to be clips from like art house films. I say art house films, I mean I could not understand what was happening in them. So,
but the BBC documentary clip was about 3 minutes long, wasn't it?
Yeah.
3 or 4 minutes long. And I was kind of thinking, is this doing anything? Am I supposed to be watching it? And then it lets you, so there's a panel where you can then fast forward and rewind that clip. So I'm like slowly like going through it to see if like a puzzle flashes up on the screen. And I'm thinking, surely there's got to be something like this in there. And there's just not. And I just thought, oh, fucking Jonathan Blow. Like, this is him just going, ooh. That's the noise he's making when I'm playing this. I've got Jonathan Blow sitting next to me going, ooh, isn't that? Oh, fuck off.
I mean, yeah, like as much as I enjoyed The Witness, for one thing, I never totally finished it. And 2, I don't think I ever fully engaged with what it was trying to say beyond, you are not too stupid to do any of this, and it's just a case of finding the right way in, and the implications, that's something you can take away with you and be like, well, actually, there are things out there that at a glance are completely unfathomable to me, but if I just put the work in and find the right place to start, I can build up my understanding and I can figure them out. And it's the game just being like, you are smarter than you think you are. And I really like that, but I feel like thematically there's probably more going on that I just never really grasped.
Yeah, which you did for Braid. I think most of us did for Braid.
Yeah.
Were there those massive articles on what everything was about once that game had been out for a while, or did that never really come?
I'm not sure. I mean, I never really looked for them, to be fair.
No, I mean, I saw obviously a lot of opinion pieces, but it felt like there was a bit of an unwritten rule, I mean, literally unwritten, whereby people didn't really want to reveal a lot of the big things towards the end. And also a lot of the things, I mean, I didn't finish it, but I have restarted again this week, or I continued, shall I say, but it feels like a lot of the things that happen later on, you can take your own view on what it means or what it doesn't mean, and but I think it's got loads of quite ambiguous stuff on purpose. But I like that about the game. I love that, in fact. But
yeah, I mean, I'm learning a lot of things that, I mean, you have to kind of change the way you're thinking when you're playing it. So the first unique thing it did for me, and I'm not going to spoil it for James, so I'll sort of talk around it, but where you had to, there was the trees one. Yeah. There's something about the trees that you go, oh, right, okay, I gotcha.
The environmental puzzles are easy. One of the best bits about it. It's so good.
Yeah. So that was pretty good. I then did the maze area, and that taught me that that sometimes the hint or the secret to it is a little bit bullshit. Like, it's kind of a little bit like... Because I tend to play my games on low volume anyway, and there's one in there where you need volume to understand what's going on, and it was kind of like, oh, okay.
There's at least one other bit that you won't like.
Yeah, probably. And there's also, it's not just, I'm not even going to ask. Then I'm on this one where there's, you're walking along platforms to draw out the line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I did like the first few, and now I'm on one that just makes zero sense to me. I'm kind of like, I thought I'd finished it. Like, I incorporated all the rules. I noticed what was different about this one and a way around it, and then I got to the end and it wasn't unlocked, and I was like, oh, that stuff is not a nice feeling, and that's the only thing stopping me going back to it like every night. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's sometimes with a game like this, there's sometimes like I'm not in a flow with it. I'm just kind of like, there's too many massive walls to jump over to make me go, oh yeah, I fancy that tonight actually. But I'm sure I'll slowly work through it.
Yeah, I'm currently stuck in an area where it's like a little indoor, very small indoor area, where there's branches and stuff, and I guess that's all I'm going to say. But I've done almost all the puzzles in that one area, and I'm on the last one, and now I'm like, wow, this isn't how it worked previously, or is this? I can't quite get the solution. I've got a bit of it, but not all of it, and it's annoying, but also that's also what I love about the game. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'll come back to this.
Have you used a guide or like some sort of hint thing to... I know there's that thing that you can't just write the puzzles out because you need to learn to progress. But have you at any point, Matt, sort of just looked up what the
I think I might have done when I played it originally last year, only because, as I said previously on the show, I haven't got all day, so if it got to the point where I'm just wasting my game time trying to do this, and I think I can't remember the time, but I wouldn't be surprised if I had done.
Yeah, I'm tempted.
And this one, I'm probably about another hour away from saying I'll just sort of just look for the solution and move on. It's a shame because the best way about the game is going back to it and saying, oh, okay, actually I can do this now. Like I've done those where I've done 3 out of the 4 puzzles, not done it, gone away, come back, and then done it straight away. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm feeling. That's how I'm feeling at the moment. I'm kind of like, I'm so close to just looking up the solution or the idea behind the puzzle, not so much the solution. However, the ones that I have worked out, I did get a lot of satisfaction out of just working out on my own, you know what I mean?
How many times have you taken pictures of your screen and then sort of
Quite a few
doodled
times
over those pictures?
Yeah, I've had to... There was one where there's like 4 puzzles facing each other. There's 4 on one side, 4 on the other, and you've got to kind of mirror what is on the other puzzle.
Okay,
so I just thought, photos, mate. And there's one where I had to doodle. It was one of the maze ones. I had to doodle out something, and then work it out from there. But
I've done that loads. I've taken pictures just to remember, or taking pictures and then doodling. Because on the one-on-one at the moment, you have to look at the same puzzle from different angles to gradually build up the solution. So I'm like, okay, look from that angle, take a picture, draw what I can see, then go from the other angle, take a picture, draw what I can see. But I love that about the game.
Imagine like going through the photos of on your phone, and like trying to find a photo to show someone, and then looking at your phone, just seeing like these loads of line puzzles.
I had that at work.
Horrific.
The other week, I was telling a colleague about like what we've done with the baby's room and like stuff we put on the walls, and she's like, "Oh, have you got pictures?" I was like, "Yeah." So I get the gallery up on my phone, and she just walked around and was like stood next to me looking at my phone.
Oh, I hate that.
And I was like, that's really weird, but she probably doesn't realise it's weird, but it really is to me. Like,
I hate that.
All sorts of shit on there.
Yeah, the amount of times if say like a colleague or anyone's like, oh, yeah, I'll show this photo. I don't want to look at their phone before, because what if they accidentally shows a picture I do not want to see?
Yeah,
and that's happened.
And like not even anything inappropriate, just like pictures like stupid in jokes or whatever between your mates, and you don't want to have to explain it.
Yeah, if I was to load my photos up now, the first 2 that crop up are of that guy that we were talking about, Matt, where we were sending videos of each other. That dude go, what does he say? Watch your profanity. Watch your profanity. Just that guy. Did you not know what that is, Sean?
No idea.
It's these 2 guys in Storage Wars or whatever it is. Do you know that show Storage Wars in America? And And
In America.
he's like this big guy, and one of them swears, and he just listen.
What the is this? What's your profanity? Right, I'm sorry.
He's saying, "What's your profanity?" He just looks at the camera and in this high-pitched voice goes, "What's your profanity?" That's the whole clip. I've watched it about 300 times today. It's funny every time I watch it.
So good. Yeah, but
So
I do absolutely hate having to look at people's phones and that sort of stuff, because one time my mate's like, "Oh, look at his pictures," and I looked at the pictures and I flicked to the right and it was just a really close-up picture of a vagina, and I was like, "Oh God, I don't want that." But I don't know, I don't think he saw that I saw that, and I just went back to the pictures that he had shown me.
God.
And then I could never meet him ever again.
I have been on the bus before.
Here we go. The Pokemon Go bus.
Opened up the Pokemon Go bus, opened up Safari, and it was on a page that I was on the night before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've all
That was
been there.
bad.
Incognito, baby.
Was bad. I don't use Incognito, which is probably...
Don't you? Gee, yeah. Playing with I always use it to buy gifts for loved ones, you know.
I use incognito mode for when I'm just looking things up and I don't want Google to think I'm stupid.
I see it at loads and I'm like, why are you on it? If I'm on like a train or whatever and I see loads of people in incognito mode, I'm like, one, are you still in it for after last night's porn session, or do you not realise you shouldn't be on there, or do you not? Are you just happy to be in it, or do you think Safari, say on iOS, is just grey? That's the colour you think it is because someone put it on once. Fascinating.
I think they're hiding their important information from prying organisations. Like with people, like people who have their Instagram set to private. And
yeah, who are those monsters? Jesus.
Yeah, it's like what do you think's so important?
I've got that problem with Jim Trinker at the moment because he's on all over Twitter, and sometimes he puts out something really funny, and I try and retweet it, and he goes, "No, no, he doesn't want that."
Yeah,
Jim,
annoying.
for yeah. So James, sorry, this was your game. So what sort of porn do you watch on your phone? I think we can all guess. Madison Page has been googled a fair few times. It was Madison Page, wasn't it? Jesus, journalist called Madison Page. David Cage. Right, okay.
James, any more thoughts?
So The Witness looks all right. Just need to play some more of it, and that's it.
Cool. All right. Well, I've pretty much done mine. I made the mistake this week of loading up Rocket League again. I say it's a mistake because that's all I want to play. That's all I want to do with my life is play Rocket League. It's just the most fun thing ever. I post up a video of another one of my saves in the week on Twitter. And it's one of those things where, where you have a moment in a computer game and it's that one moment and you want the whole world to see it. It seems like every night something like that happens on that game, and that's why I keep going back to it for those fucking saves. I feel like a hero. It's still brilliant. And that was it. Splatoon and The Witness. So I'm done. Matt.
I also played a couple of games of Rocket League, and I just...
Did you really?
Yeah,
when?
It was just a random night. I was testing out some stuff, and I thought I wanted to play just literally one quick game, and I got a hat trick super quickly, and I'm like, this must be what it's like to be Dave when he's playing me. I was just absolutely killing it on that game, and like they must have been really shit if I was the best one on the field. But I scored some blinders and I turned off. You
do go through phases. There are times where I think, actually, Matt, Matt, look at Matt. And then you're on the line and someone shoots and it P-rolls to you and you jump over the ball. And I'm just like, motherfucker, Matt, you need to, I know I get abuse in the chat from people sometimes. If you want sort of petty sarcasm, passive aggression in a computer game, Rocket League's the one. Like in the chat room, I missed a save. The ball went in the back of the net, and at top left it flashed up teammate ? And I just thought, do you know what? Fuck you. And then even the standard ones, the preset ones where they just you miss the ball or whatever, and someone just puts wow,
no problem,
nice save. And you're just like, oh, mate. But then every now and then you do connect with someone, and it's like it's extremes. You're either being really sarcastic and nasty to each other, or you're going, sorry, my fault, no problem, sorry, great pass, good shot. Not even thanks for saying great pass. I'm just saying good shot because just ignore my pass. That was a good shot. We're friends. And then you get trade, and you're like, oh, fuck this. I'm turning this game off. But yeah, good game, isn't it, Matt?
Incredible game, yeah. I've been playing that. Splatoon 2, I didn't get to play any of the Splatfest, which is a bit annoying. I chose my side, and then I didn't have time because it was.
Hold on, Matt. You've got no claim then to go. Yeah, Team Mayo won.
No, because I knew if I wanted us to win. That's why I didn't play. If I had played, I would have fucked. I would have got it wrong. We would have lost.
If you want to play the big man on the podcast, you have to at least.
I'm the big man.
Like. The big man's.
I the bigger man, bigger, better man's. I selected Mayo, and I thought, for the good of the team, I want us to win. I'm going to step back, guys. You handle this from here on out. And we
Sean,
won.
as someone that was in the trenches in Splatfest 2017, August 2017, what do you think of someone like Matt that's going, yeah, Team Mayo, but didn't even...
Morale's important.
I was going to say, well, at least he contributed to the votes, but then we lost that bit anyway. So,
yeah, I knew we were never going to win that. I placed some vote. I stepped aside. The boys did the job.
Absolute scumbag.
It was quite tight. Wasn't it like 51-49 for both, wasn't it? For the second two.
Yeah,
for the
makes
matches,
it even more controversial.
It was almost too close. Yeah, I played some of that. I played some The Witness again after you guys talked about it last week, and that game is still fantastic, although I'm stuck, but it still looks great. It's still fun. And I've also gone back to Fire Emblem Heroes, which is a mobile game. Confession time, I haven't played this game properly for basically since I put that money into it. But what I have been doing is I have been religiously logging in every single day for that 2-month period, just collecting orbs and whatnot. Now I've got like a healthy pile of about 250 orbs. When it comes to say summoning new characters, they've released like a big patch this week, and they've outlined all their content updates for next month. And I've got back into it a little bit, and not like it was. But it's fun. And they've also introduced a new thing now. When there's like a new suite of characters you can summon, the first summon is free. So it's trying to get people to get involved. It was actually the 6-month anniversary last week, and I'm sure we're all aware of that because it was a huge moment in all our lives last week. 6 months of Fire Emblem Heroes. And they've announced loads of new stuff. And that's about it really. I don't know why I started playing again. I guess I'll never stop, actually.
They haven't... So is it still just like getting straight back into the game that you've known beforehand, or is it changed enough to make you go, whoa?
A fair few things have changed. I mean, I'm not going to go into it now because it's just minute, but it's huge for the fans of the game. But there's loads more options in terms of types of matches now, and they've announced these assault matches where you have basically you can't die, and you've got to win like 7 in a row, and there's other variations of that sort of theme. And yes, it seems like there's lots to do. There's tons of quests now. When I stopped playing, there was like 1 or 2 daily quests, whatever. Now there's a million different quest lines you can do to collect things. But I'm not going to go into it. It's Fire Emblem Heroes. But yeah, good game.
See, I still can't wait for you, Matt, to play a proper Fire Emblem game and see what you think of it.
Yeah, but the next one is obviously that one in November, which also isn't a proper one, is it? It's that Fire Emblem Warriors. But it's got the characters I know and love, so tempting. But
I hope it like Matt hates it. Like, he plays one of the proper ones.
I'll be absolutely disgusted if he hates proper Fire Emblem.
That's what I can't wait for.
I probably will, Jeff. But the regular Fire Emblem, it's not going to have that quick pick up and play thing that I like about this one, surely. So look, I'll try. I want to try it because I love the characters. I will try it.
What was that noise for, James?
It's just the mobile one is just such a pale imitation of the real thing.
Well,
and it's just
it, then.
Go on.
Okay. I've barely played anything this week, but I've also been engaging in the No Man's Sky ARG, which is still kicking off in a big way.
Is this Titan thing you keep?
Yeah. It's called Waking Titan, and the most recent stage is that they were doing a live stream since Friday or so, and it's basically of these 5 televisions that's being live streamed on his desk, and there's like a little hamster in a cage, and someone goes to feed the hamster, and things appear on the screens, and you then go to a website, and it's insane. It's insane. The No Man's Sky ARG, it keeps getting more and more mental, and I can't believe it's still going. They have also a screenshot of 1.3, which is the next patch, has been released. It looks like No Man's Sky. So some people in the Reddit are kicking off because this isn't what we wanted. Anyway, people are still uploading pictures of random things.
What are people expecting?
I don't know, but basically it's the hype around where you can type in about all the cool things it's doing, about what I mean. But basically, every single day is like what are presented as top secret PDFs about this scientific research that a company is doing, and these keep coming out as part of this ARG, and people are like, oh, well, this probably almost certainly means portals, or this means time travel, or it's fascinating stuff. And then just watching the live stream on Saturday when I was washing up, I was like, oh god, this is happening and this is happening, and people were basically trying to work out these codes. Obviously, from people who are registered, myself being one of them, you randomly get this email saying the stream started, or go here and work out this code, and people are trying to do it as quick as possible because Hello Games are going to send out 10,000 physical Atlas level 4 passes to 10,000 random people. So whenever you get an email, you sort of like rushing to make sure you do what you need to do. I think one of the most recent ones over the last day or two is getting people to take pictures. There's like 12 locations around the world, and you have to go to a certain location in one of those 12 cities and take a picture of a certain place with the No Man's Sky logo. And yeah, I don't know, it's still happening. I can't believe it.
Have you tried to explain this to Jill yet?
No, God, no. No, I haven't.
She doesn't even know that this exists.
No, I've tried to keep this one very much hidden because I haven't even got time to explain to her. I haven't got time to explain to a lot of things, but certainly not this.
Right.
No Man's Sky.
I was just wondering what that conversation's going to be like when she catches a glimpse of your phone and you're watching.
Well, she's got to a point now where whatever she sees on my phone, she just like doesn't even question it. Like the amount of she's sick of like me watching unboxing videos for routers, for instance. I'm like, Jill, but there's a new one coming out. I need it. So yeah, she doesn't.
Did I ever tell you how I was outed as a ASMR person?
Oh God, no. I mean, I don't do that, but go on.
Well, Joe uses. We got YouTube on our telly, obviously, and Joe uses it because Harry watches Hot Wheels videos, people playing with Hot Wheels cars and Marble Run stuff, which is always funny when Harry's playing with his Marble Run set and he's saying things that they say on the YouTube videos.
Elodie does exactly that. Exactly.
What does she do?
Well, she watches loads of videos where basically people will open up blind bags. Or she'll watch these videos where the blind bag's already been opened, but someone's like, oh, who's going to be in this one? And then she'll be playing with her friends or with me, and she'll say, he's so adorable. Because I'm
you need to get in on this, and the best thing to do is to take the piss out of the streamers they're watching, and then they don't do this anymore.
No, I don't mind it.
James with his parenting skills.
What you need to do is destroy their heroes.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. You just take the piss out of them, and then they don't do it anymore. It's great.
Superman's not real, kid.
Yeah, but no, she's saying a lot of things which we recognise from the YouTube videos. Yeah, so when I was with Butlins with you, Dave, and Elodie and I were in that play park. I went up. She got me off. She got me on that thing that playground next to that pub we went to, that restaurant. And then she's like, "Oh, this is my dad. He's so adorable." It's like that is exactly like from one of those YouTube videos.
Can I just say as well that Elodie didn't even ask him to come on. Matt was all over that stuff.
Any opportunity to get into
the same in the soft
there.
play. He was right up there. No, that Harry does that. He'll sit there and just go, okay, who's going to win? Is it be green? Will it be blue? And it's all directly taken from these videos or whatever. But anyway, so Joe once pressed, like she was using the YouTube app on the telly, which is logged into my account, and it come up with all these recommended videos.
Jesus, that's so risky.
Like medical examinations. Not on YouTube. You can't watch anything dodgy on there, but like medical examinations and stuff like that. She just rang me up and said, why are you watching all this stuff? And I was like, right, sit down. I need to explain what ASMR is. You know when I put my headphones in and then look like I'm in a coma? It's that. It's because of this. It's because this man is tapping this white balance card.
I want to get involved in this. I haven't really experienced this. Who's like who should I... What's the beginner's guide to this shit?
It's entirely possible that you just don't get it, because not everyone does. But yeah, the general gist is like some people, or I think it's actually most people, but a lot of people just don't talk about it because it does sound fucking weird. But basically, when people like whisper to you, or I mean, there's various other triggers, but that's like the main one. Like you get this sort of pleasant, like tingly feeling in the back of your neck.
See, I get that, but I've never tried any of this stuff.
I get that.
Right, okay.
get off this Discord call and get on YouTube, have yourself a time.
I will send you a YouTube video, and I will give you some instructions, and you will definitely work out. I mean, people got different triggers, but I'm pretty sure there's a few on mine that will set you off. But especially, I'm just going to put a bit of paper on it. But
is it going to make wanking better or not? Or is that just a rumour?
No, it's not sexual at all. It's genuinely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it changed my life, that stuff. It's weird.
Yeah,
the thing is, I think, you know how people talk about transcendental meditation and how they can chant something to themselves in their head, and then they seem to go into like this completely different sort of space. It's weird. And then they wake up feeling totally refreshed. I'm pretty sure ASMR is exactly the same thing. Because like I go into some weird trance for like 20 minutes and wake up and it feels like I've slept for like 6 hours.
So do you do it for stress? Do you do it before bed? Do you do it if you want to nap in a day? When do you do it?
Napping a day, stress, all those things.
Yeah,
headaches.
Yeah. There's a lot of people use it. Like a lot of people who suffer from insomnia use it a lot. I don't, but I do it before bed anyway, just because it's nice. I use it to get rid of headaches sometimes as well. Like,
wow.
Yeah,
really helpful.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Cool.
I mean, yeah,
well, we'll do that.
So that's how I got caught. But going back to Harry watching YouTube, he's been watching a lot of John Denton's streams recently, the family friendly ones. And I sent you a video, Matt, in the week. Yeah. He was literally saying "tap that B" over and over again at the TV screen the other day. It was glorious. Taps in the chat. It was yeah. He's good. John's got his first Turner fan. Okay, right, cool. Should we do emails?
Yeah,
let's go.
Yes, Jackie. Yes, yeah. Big Brother's on, Dave. You're not watching it now.
I am. I watched the first one. Have you heard about Barry from EastEnders?
I know who's on it, and on the launch night I watched a bit, and he couldn't even hear the secret task.
They had a bit on it this week where he sat down in the diary room chair and he said, "Right, I've just got some sound bites for you." Like he was talking to Big Brother like he was a producer, and he was going, "I've got some sound bites for you for some of the other guys. I mean, you can use them or not. Let's just see. It's just some things I've been working on." And he was like giving these sound bites and going, "Okay, that's the first one. Second one. So Gary, I was talking to him earlier," and it was just like, and they left the whole thing in, so it was just like cringing that my toes were curling throughout the whole thing. And Derek Akora's in there, and it's only a matter of time before someone turns around to him and says, "You're full of shit, mate, and you take advantage of vulnerable people for money. Fuck yourself." I wish I was in that house just to say that to him.
It's no Love Island, is it?
It's not, no. But it's still pretty good. I love a bit of Big Brother.
Emails.
Hey, dads. Much like you guys, my partner and myself are bringing a new bundle of joy into our lives at the end of this month.
Well, you're getting
Wanted to know if you have any tips before it drops. I intend on getting Zelda and Mario Kart, then later Mario Odyssey. Have you had any issues with the screen scratching problem when putting the Switch into the dock? Do any of you have the grip things that turn the Joy-Cons into two controllers? Are they worth getting? Are there any essential things that you need to get? And that's from Woodnail and Pie.
Right, okay, so first of all, the Switch is perfect for being a new dad because, you don't have to have it on the telly, you can use your headphones, there are games that you can pause, which is a good thing. That's one thing, Sean. Your online gaming is going to take a hit over the next year or so because I just remember playing with Chet. We were heavily into online seasons and FIFA back then, and the amount of games that he had to try and finish on his own because the baby just started
it's like the amount of times we were playing Destiny and either you, John, or I, basically what happens, we'll play, one of our babies will cry, we'll go off, the other two make conversation and basically have it on pause and wait. Then I'd either come back and say, "Look guys, another 10 minutes," or "Look guys, no, I can't, I've got other things, I've got to sort the baby, look at the baby now." And then you would have to try and struggle for a strike on your own, or tourists would leave. Yeah, it's an absolute nightmare.
But Zelda is so perfect for that period because it's just like hit pause, go sort it out. Or if you have to sit in the room because sometimes the kid just wants something in the room, so it's not alone, you can just sit there and turn Zelda on again. It's beautiful. The Switch is perfect. As for those little controller things, they look well good, right? So, I use the single Joy-Con setup a lot, Right, I use it a lot. And those little slide bar things are fine. I've never really had an issue using them. However, what with Nail and Pie has put in that email is that there's like sort of more of a controller shape thing that you can push a single Joy-Con into. They look great. I think I might look into getting them. They're a bit pricey. They were like £12, but I mean, what isn't on the Switch? Yeah, it's a bit shit. But if they're good, then I will probably pick them up because, as I say, I use that setup all the time. And if we're playing Mario Kart for a long time, then it can get a little bit shit.
In terms of scratching, I mean, I think all of us have now got screen protectors on.
No, I've not.
Oh,
James hasn't. No,
Flame of Fire.
You took yours off.
You
Didn't
let
you,
your
James?
kids use it,
and it's fine. It's not. It's fine.
If you look it up close,
totally
though, I bet it's a disaster.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but when you've got like
lots of money,
like you've got like just
lots of money,
big salary,
bad things happening all the time with like stuff getting broken, you start to just think, I don't care.
Just buy another one
really anymore. Because you can't keep everything in pristine condition. It's impossible.
Just go to the stores and get a second one out.
We those of us who have screen protectors, I think we've all got the same one, haven't we? We've all got the Orsley one.
That's the one, yeah.
O-R-Z-L-O-L-Y. Yeah. I think we all like it.
Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah, and
I barely
that
even
was for me
noticed
super way easier than any other screen protector I put on because it's solid. It was great. One of the other things I bought for my Switch, which I still think is one of the best things I bought, is this. I bought it on Amazon, but you can get it anywhere. It's basically a 5-port wall charger. So it's by Anker. Yeah. It's got one USB-C port and four regular USB 3 ports. And I have that sort of next to an armchair I've got in my lounge. So obviously I can charge the machine in the dock, but if I just want to play it handheld, sat in the corner, I use that and it's brilliant. I use it all the time.
Really? Because I mean, I use handheld all the time, and I've never hit the battery limit.
No, but because I take it with me to work every day, if it's been in my bag and I haven't been charging it, then I'm like, okay, I want to play handheld now. I just I'll sit in the armchair and just plug it in from the bottom. It's brilliant, and also I use that thing everywhere. If I go on holiday now, I don't have to bring all the various plugs. I just bring that and then 5 cables, and it's got watch charged, all the mobiles. It's brilliant. Recommend that.
I can't wait for battery technology to take a huge leap forward. I've said it time and time again, but there will be a time where I turn around to Harry and say, yeah, we used to charge our phones every night. What? You don't do the usual once every 6-month charge? No, every night.
It'll either be that or we had to wait an hour for it to charge.
Yeah.
Come on, James.
All right. Lads, I'm recently stuck in a rut. So many games I could potentially be playing on my PS4 or Vita, but I just can't seem to pick anything to stick with. I recently smashed.
I recently smashed it.
Matt smashed it.
That's getting clipped for Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Good.
I recently smashed Beyond Two Souls, which I loved, and now have nothing I want to commit to. I have Persona 5, and in brackets, can't be asked. Now, the thing is, David, is you said that Beyond Two Souls isn't very good, but this guy says it's brilliant, and also he can't be bothered to play Persona 5, which is amazing. There's something up here.
Well, maybe he's just got bad taste.
Yeah, this guy could be mentally ill.
Sure.
We
I
don't
think
know.
you could have said, but maybe, James, he's got a different opinion.
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
Mass Effect Andromeda, not grabbing my attention, and Dark Souls 3, good, but I've finished it. I think my problem could be my preferred single-player experiences. I'm totally in a drought. Any multiplayer recommendations, or shall I just wait for Destiny 2 and get immersed in the community? Thanks for taking the time. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
No, I don't like reading the praise. I don't like reading it. So
no, what's the praise?
I'd never read that because
I don't want to hear it. Go on, read it.
I don't want to feed your ego. It's
what does it
ridiculous.
say?
Thanks for taking the time and loving the Discord. Some great people in there, and thanks for the PSN credit from Matt.
That's nice, isn't it? That's nice.
I guess. Yeah.
Matt, what is that? Do you remember that you could get instant mashed potato in those little packages? What was that called?
Smash.
Right, okay. So,
multiplayer.
Yeah, but did they say did this person say that they didn't have a Switch?
I think it's just PS4 or Vita.
PS4. I would. Next Machina is one that you can really get into.
That's Next Machina, right?
Yeah, it should be Next Machina, I'd imagine.
Next Machina, whatever. It's Smesh. that is, I think, an excellent arcade game. And whenever I find myself in a funk where I'm just kind of like, I can't be dealing with getting involved into a big game anymore. I don't really fancy anything. I always find an arcade style game, something that really, something like that game can just grab hold of me for a long time and see me through to when I'm prepared to get back into either a story-driven or sort of long action game. Yeah, and I can't recommend that game enough. It's fucking incredible. Any other recommendations?
Rocket League, obviously.
Rocket League is my neutral times of existence game, Matt.
Absolutely. I mean, it depends what your friends are playing for multiplayer. I mean, if everyone else jumped into a game, I'll typically get that game and we'll play that together. But so it's a bit hard to recommend. But obviously, there's loads of great ones. There's Rainbow Six is brilliant. Obviously, Rocket League we just mentioned. Splatoon's out now.
Rainbow Six is probably impossible to get into now. I mean, I'd love to hear from someone that's starting that game for the first time. It must be so difficult to wrap your head
but
around
loads of people
at this
must be
point.
doing that with, every day.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but or tights.
Yeah,
I mean,
or the slightly better Overwatch.
Whoa,
yeah, way better. But yeah, basically, Destiny's out in a month, so just get ready for that.
Yeah.
Get prepared.
Buy some Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. Get ready, soldier. Get ready to become a legend, right?
Yeah, definitely. Next question.
I've been enjoying the amount of Splatoon 2 chat recently.
Cheers,
James. What have you liked specifically?
No, this is the email, David.
Oh, right, okay, gotcha. Sorry, Smesh.
Having recently started a new job, I've not been able to play it as much as I'd like, but I can live vicariously through you. I have a couple of questions for you. Number one, would it really be that inherently odd for Nintendo to introduce a paid online service where it was previously free? Isn't that exactly what Sony did when PlayStation Plus started? Number two, I feel Salmon Run is a deliberate statement about modern work culture. The Inklings are happy, individualistic and fashionable in the square and their turf wars, but when they get a job they're dressed in drab uniforms and forced to use preset tools in a grey, dreary world. I'd imagine this is even more resonant in Japan, with their infamous salarymen who work themselves to death. Anyway, keep up the good work, and keep living it. That's from Luke.
Second point kind of falls apart when there's people in the shops and that working. And they're not all like proper right in their uniforms. So I'm not 100% sure with that. I'm pretty sure it's
an interesting reading of it. Yeah, but
I like it.
I fucking agree with it. What was the first point again? Because I had something for that.
Is it weird for Nintendo to start charging for online service when it was previously free? But it's only weird because Nintendo's is shit, right?
Absolutely.
And they also said they were going to do this from the beginning as well, didn't they? It's not like they launched it for free and then just said, "Oh, we're going to charge you later."
No, I don't have a feeling that this would happen, but I think what should happen is that they scrap the idea of charging for the internet, right, and just solely put the ask for the £20 if you want access to that SNES library that they want to put on the SNES. That makes far more sense. £20 a year for loads of SNES and NES games. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would pay for that. To say that you can't use their shit online service unless you pay £20 a year, that's the insane part. That's like the insanity.
Is it still just one game a month, like this thing?
No, they changed it, didn't they? I can't remember. Well, it's not been outlined yet. They haven't confirmed anything other than they've changed the initial idea of you having to only play it for a month and then it's no longer available again, haven't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we'll hear more about that towards the end of the year, but I think that's probably the way to do it for them, because people ain't going to be paying for this online service. And if you're going to lead with you're paying for Nintendo Online, people are going to go, but Nintendo Online is shit. Whereas if you say, look, you can play your games online, right, fine, but if you want all these, old games, then £20 a year sounds like a fucking bargain, to be quite honest with you. It's just the way you market it, Nintendo. It's the way you market it.
They're listening, David.
I'm pretty sure they are, mate. I'm pretty sure Reg is sitting there now going, these guys are all right. I'm not going to add them to the PR list. I'm not going to send them any review code, but they're all right. That's what I reckon old Reggie's saying.
Hello, gents. Do any of you have any more than one child? If you don't, I strongly urge you not to. They're a fucking nightmare when there's more than one in the same room. I can confirm this is true.
Everyone says this to me.
Yeah. As a father of... Because it's really annoying, Dave. Like, when you've got, like, two, like, at the same time, especially during the summer holidays, it's a nightmare. If you can keep one of them on their own, it's fine. It's really easy to take care of them. But once you've got two and they start, like, interacting with each other... It's awful.
I'm not arguing with you, mate. I mean, it sounds horrific. I'm definitely not arguing with you about that point. Every time someone's told me about having a second kid, they say you go into it thinking this will be twice as hard because there's two kids, and it ends up being about 10 times as hard. Like, you don't realise that all the other shit that goes along with it. Yeah.
I'd always sort of worked on the assumption that once you have a second one, they sort of keep each other amused, but I guess that isn't the case.
No, I mean, they keep each other amused.
Apparently,
they keep them amused for like about 5 or 10 minutes, and then the fighting starts.
Okay.
And it's like, and then there's the whole like who started it, and it's like I don't care who started it, but just stop doing that. And it's. Yeah,
I have a feeling that the answer to who started it in your house, James, is you.
Actually. My wife would Chen would absolutely agree with you about that because I do tend to wind them up sometimes.
Yeah, no shit. You're turning around saying that their YouTube favourites are scum, and that their birthday's next year.
Didn't do that, but
yeah,
it was a couple of days later, but actually a week. But it's fine. Anyway, as a father of 3 young kids, I really don't get much time to play games as much as I used to, and my gaming time is limited to just an hour or two here and there each week. So I had to be very careful in my games of choice. And fortunately, PS Plus has given me a few releases recently, which have allowed me to try something I otherwise wouldn't be able to, and also save me money that instead goes on nappies and shit. Right. Life is Strange via PS Plus was a very pleasant surprise, which I was intrigued to try after hearing the evolution of the Midnight Resistance team go from it's a bit shit to it's actually bloody good. It provoked an emotional response within me that I wasn't expecting and stayed with me for a good few days after completion. I've also just finished Until Dawn, last month's PS Plus release, and had far more fun than I expected. The production values on that are incredible, and I couldn't help but wish that the level of facial animation and quality of writing and performance had been transposed onto Life is Strange. The design choice in the latter, while effective, just couldn't help but take a little away from the overall package, and the acting was sadly too inconsistent, outside of Chloe, to fully engage. So here's 2 questions for you. What game or games have provoked the biggest emotional response from you and left you thinking about it sometime after? And are there any parts of games, be it mechanical or design, that you feel would markedly improve another game that you enjoy? Thanks for the podcast.
Just before we get into that, so there is a new, there's like prequel episodes of Life is Strange. They're coming in August, aren't they? So that can't be too far away at all.
Yeah, that's really
cool.
Can I just point out, James has just skimmed the bit where the listener was really nice about me. Thanks, James.
Yeah.
we got an email about, are we worried about, is that in there? Are we worried about James censoring the email?
No, it's not that.
That is fucking brilliant. The one email we've got about, hey guys, now James is in charge of the emails and seems to be filtering stuff out. Are you worried about censoring, like him censoring it? He's censored out of the show. That is incredible.
No,
you are
usually
Trump.
Usually
you
what
are
I do,
Trump.
No, listen, right? What I do is usually the last paragraph I just don't bother with because it's usually just nice things, and I just don't like doing that.
Yeah, but people might want that read out. Have you ever thought about that?
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
Why is it embarrassing?
Because it just is. I just don't like it.
This is ridiculous.
Okay, so are you ordering me to read like praise?
If it's nice and it's nice to get a bit of praise, doesn't it? A little bit of feedback. We usually only get just Chris O'Regan telling us we're doing everything wrong. It's just nice to balance that out with a nice bit of, positivity. Anyway, most emotional games.
Shall I read this bit then? Because it is quite nice actually looking at it.
Go on then.
He just says, thanks for the podcast. It really helps me pass the time while driving or walking the dog. And I'd like to thank Sean in particular for helping me to find this show through Midnight Resistance. I truly wish him all the best with his upcoming addition to the family, and I genuinely think he'll make a pretty decent dad.
That's pretty
I should have read that, shouldn't I?
Not an excellent one, a pretty decent one. An okay dad. Who sent that?
That's Ben Bowers.
There's also a PS where he's offered us free whiskey.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, yeah. if any of you like whiskey, I host a whiskey review channel on YouTube called A Dram a Day, and we'd be happy to send you some samples by ways of thanks for the show.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
whiskey
bourbon, send that over straight to davidturner@gmail.com.
And he can
That's not even my
send
email. That email doesn't even exist, sorry. The most emotional games, right? Okay, so I've got a few. I Last Guardian, I wasn't a massive fan of that game, but I thought the ending was incredible and it stuck with me, as did The Last of Us. The ending to that really stuck with me for a long time. Future Unfolding, as I've mentioned before, had some weird, insane, emotional sort of, I don't know what happened. That game got under my skin and I thought about it for ages afterwards. What was there's been another couple.
The obvious one,
Life is Strange.
Yeah, the obvious one is
great.
the last episode of Walking Dead season 1.
Yes,
I think that is
incredible.
the most emotional I've been in the game. Definitely, that is.
Does Heavy Rain count in terms of the emotion being hilarity? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
is that emotion?
Yeah,
happiness.
It's laughter, isn't it? And happiness. It did give me a lot of happiness.
You're weird. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is very emotional.
Shit.
Something you think about afterwards for a long time. And of course, Gone Home. Gone Home would have affected me a lot more had I not completely fucked the ending up by being so scared about the last bit that I kept looking at the ground and missed the last diary entry. But that game was good. To the moon.
In recent memory, Nier Automata, I was expecting to enjoy it, but I wasn't expecting to be quite so affected by it and thinking about it for a long time after playing it, and probably Hyper Light Drifter.
Res Area X is pretty
incredible. Yeah, good shout.
Yeah,
good shout. And also, I just thought of a really good one that had an emotional... Oh, fuck, my brain is gone because Sean said something. Fucking hell, Sean.
Sorry, I won't do it again.
No, go on. But James, you come out with a couple. Let me think.
I don't know now. I thought I wasn't going to have to do this. Now I'm going to have to think about it.
Sorry. Yeah, Shadow of Colossus. There was a moment in that where I rode past. I did not know that the bodies of the Colossi remained after you killed them, and there was a moment where I was riding along on my horse and I rode past a corpse of one, and it felt like a punch in the gut, like a genuine someone had just punched me directly in the stomach, because I was like, what is that massive... Oh my god, yeah, that is what I did. Ugh. Yeah, that was fucked up. That was fucked up. James?
Do you want me to read the next one, yeah?
No, you just don't want to answer it, yeah?
Well, no, because one just comes off the top of my head right now, but I don't want to say what it is because you're just going to take the piss.
Hold on, right? Because this is what I don't get, right? So, before we started the show, you said you didn't want to talk about a game because you didn't like it. No, it's not that I didn't like it. It's just boring. You're also just editing out bits of people's emails, and finally,
I'm trying to streamline the experience. Like this, just trying to get rid of all the stuff that is maybe not so interesting.
But you edited out an email that was literally calling you out for editing too much out. I mean, I think that should have been addressed.
I don't think I did. No, because that's the next email, which I'm just about to read.
Right, okay. But, yeah, I don't know. Why are you not telling us this game?
Because you'll misunderstand what I found emotional about it.
Oh, it's Shenmue, right?
No, not that. No, that's
on.
obvious. That's a given. No,
Catherine.
It's Bayonetta 2.
Bayonetta 2?
Yeah, no.
That made you emotional, did it?
No.
No.
Spraying everywhere.
This is exactly why I didn't want to say anything. Because
let him speak.
I weeped throughout.
Smesh.
My... Go on.
It's the music at the end of the game. It's
what game?
Okay.
Bayonetta 2.
Oh, cool. I haven't played it, sorry.
What
none
about
of you
the
have,
music?
so you don't know. So it's like... Have you played it, Sean? You have, haven't you?
I have. I've not finished it.
What was it? What music at the end? What happens?
No, it's because what it is it's just a build up of using the same musical theme throughout the whole thing, and then you've got this massive battle going on, and it all goes into slow motion, and I just found it very emotional. It's really good.
That's cool.
The fights with what's his name, the angel lad, that sort of happen throughout the game. They're because they're so beautifully presented, and they're just and they're not difficult, but you've got to be fucking on it throughout, and the music and stuff, they're they are like I don't know what I felt during them, but I felt like emotionally exhausted afterwards.
Yeah, and that's what's really cool about it.
Yeah,
and that's what I loved about it. It's I don't know.
Matt, before we go on to the next email, is there have Nintendo ever brought out like a beat 'em up, which is a bit like Mario Kart? It's got like all the Nintendo characters in it.
Oh yes, it was Smesh Brothers.
Go on, next.
Oh, okay. Because it's like that was a total accident, and now it's just.
It was very funny, though.
I know. It's how it happens. It just happened. Anyway, hi. Now that James has started to take some responsibility over his section of the podcast, are any of you worried he might start to censor too much of the content? Not really worried for my questions. They tend to not bring much back. Not bring much, but his track record of interesting topics have been, well, not in ailing with everyone else. I don't know what that means. I should have censored
not in alignment.
Yeah.
Is he?
Alignment. There you go. Yes, it's the okay.
Well, I asked you if you'd censored this, and you said you had.
I haven't.
I
haven't censored it.
Yeah, but that just makes me feel that now that you're not just like properly censoring it, you're just deleting a few. You're not actually properly like deciding what's going to work and what isn't. You just deleted a few. And thought,
I think there's probably loads of gold that just gets left by the wayside.
It's not at all, because anyway,
sorry,
for the
whoever
question
emails
part,
in.
do you guys find it hard to put in time into more story-driven games when something like Splatoon 2 or Destiny comes out? How long does it usually take for you to migrate back to the more story-driven single-player games, or can you keep up with both? And that's from Justus Blomberg.
Yeah, no, I tend to need to concentrate if I'm working on a story game. I can't do that plus play a multiplayer game quite regularly. So, but it just comes and goes, doesn't it? Like 1 minute you're focusing on this, next you're focusing on that, and it depends on my friends as well. If all my friends are playing an online game, then
it's really hard.
I tend to be
if you want to play a game, but actually. I mean, obviously, you say Destiny comes out, we'll be playing that regardless. But if there is a game you just want to play on your own, but like at 10 o'clock when you go online, everyone's like, come on, we're playing Rocket League. You're like, well, okay, I'll play Rocket League then. Yeah, so often I think, I could play this game instead, but no, I'll do Rocket League, and I have fun doing that. But yeah, it's definitely tough. I guess that's why I like these quiet periods where you can go back to games like The Witness and other games I haven't finished or want to play before, things like Destiny and the rest of the stuff in that latter part of the year comes out, and it's just a non-stop multiplayer bedlam craziness.
I also absolutely love just after Christmas as well, where you get a few games for Christmas or whatever, and you just got time to play them. Love it.
Doesn't happen. Don't get loads of games for Christmas, but yeah, I see what you mean.
Why not?
My family don't love me. Next question.
I also don't either. I have to buy them for myself because no one else does.
Well,
so.
No, you don't get anything for Christmas.
I always feel a bit weird getting
Not
games
really.
for Christmas because they get traded in. Whereas,
yeah, but what don't?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's better than socks. Well, it's not. I do like socks at Christmas. I ain't gonna lie. I'm at that point in my life where I do like a sock at Christmas.
Yeah.
But no, I don't.
So did you say sock?
Play them and then sell them on. I've only got one foot.
No, I was in tweets.
Smash. Go on.
Athena Allen says, Crash has now outsold Zelda. Is this the greatest crime of a generation?
Pretty bad.
What?
It's bad, but
related
it's
to games,
though, isn't it?
Because there's been bigger crimes.
I'll say 9/11,
well, yeah.
theme, if anything. So...
I'm sorry, I didn't go there. I was thinking red bus with 350 million written across it. I mean...
Next question. That is absolutely disgusting. I can't believe it. Who are these monsters? But also, it makes sense. Crash is on PS4, Zelda was on a new console. It makes sense, but oh my god, it's sad.
Yeah, next.
Ada Black says, lads, what game would you absolutely have to be part of in a future Kane and Rinse episode?
Okay, Sega Rally, disc driving.
Tights 2, Freeze. Apparently, I wasn't important enough
based
to
on
be
your
on
live
that.
stream, I think they dodged a bullet there, Dave.
Good point. Fair point. Banjo-Kazooie, I mean, I've completed that 25 times.
You're
so
probably top of the
maybe
list, surely.
No, they've done that, and I wasn't on that either. Future Unfolding, probably, because I'm one of the only people that have played it.
I was, obviously they're kind enough to have me on like a few times a year. I was quite gutted to not be on the Soul Reaver one that they just did, but it's a good episode. Like it's very rare to, like, if I'm not on it and it's a game that I like, it's very rare for me to listen to it. But like, they didn't mention like X, Y, Z that I would have said. Like, actually, usually they pretty much cover everything. So, but yeah, it just would have been cool to be able to talk about that game again.
I'm trying to think of others. Rocket League. I mean, if they did a Rocket League one, but then what can you talk about? With
that's 4 hours of Rocket League chat. I mean, I could easily fill
4
it. 4
hours of me just going. When you like, honestly,
I'm
pretty good in goal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I suppose you could talk about like its rise or whatever, but I don't know. Whatever. James?
Civilization. I'd love to talk about that.
That would be one of those episodes that I skip. That's the thing. I love Cane and Rinse, obviously, but there are ones where you go, I'll get that one a miss. And if I look down at my iPod and it said, this week's episode is on Civilization, I'll go, I'll probably listen to someone else this week.
Skipilization.
Smash.
Okay. Sean Thomas says, seeing Farley's revel in others' misery in Heavy Rain made me wonder which character plights have you all found unintentionally hilarious?
I mean, yeah, I don't. What, like how they died?
I guess
is that
so.
what
just generally
just
like
how...
a bad situation they're in, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, there was plenty of idiots in The Walking Dead. I'm like, thank God that idiot's dead. And...
Oh, Ben.
Yes,
well,
Ben.
Let's not.
Ben is the old
flag of Ben. I can still see that picture you got me now. It's on my desk. I've still got it.
I still don't know how you ended up.
Home? No, here I can see it right now.
Matt ending up just with Ben, or me killing everyone in Heavy Rain.
That is fucking good. That is a Twitter poll. That is a fantastic comparison, James.
But you didn't try, and I tried to be nice, and then Ben was the only one who would have me, whereas you just didn't even bother for the first half of the game. So you deserve that. I don't know what happened for just me to be left with Ben.
Yeah, but Matt probably did. I hadn't even put that together. But yeah, that's actually worse. What Matt did was worse because, as Matt said, A, he tried. B, he was left with Ben. Like, at least all of yours was dead. Like, Matt ended up with Ben. The guy that wouldn't help, what's her face? Like, Clementine, when she was in trouble that time. Wouldn't help her.
It wasn't my choice. I was choosing anyone who would remain with me. I
dropped that motherfucker down the tower. Straight down that tower. Fuck that guy.
Okay. Is anyone else? Well, no. Is Sean going to say anything? I mean,
I've got nothing. Can't think of anything.
Okay.
Smash.
James McCall says, that's a good idea, actually. Maybe you could just say that when you want me to move on.
I mean, we normally say next question, but okay.
Yeah, just say that. James McCall says, you guys have mentioned Destiny 2 several times, but which other future games are you guys
I've got loads here.
To?
Okay, Destiny 2 is another one. Have you got any more, Dave?
Yeah, go Everybody's Golf.
That's this month, isn't it?
It's like 20
and a month
20 quid, I saw somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, £22 on Simply Games or somewhere, yeah.
I played the beta. We're not allowed to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, so did I. I would
be
love to say what I thought.
Be excited. Be very, very excited if you're Everybody's Golf fan. There are a few. Pez looks like it could be amazing this year, so I'll probably be playing that. Very interested in Call of Duty World War II.
Crackdown?
No.
Okay.
I've only just found out that Agents of Mayhem is out in a couple of weeks.
What is that? Because that's
it's Saints Row that seems to take itself a little bit more seriously. Yeah. Don't know what's going on there. There was another couple. There must be. Well, Mario Odyssey is obviously top of the list. That's the game that I'm most looking forward to out of any game now. Mario Odyssey is top of my list. I cannot wait to play that. But yeah, whatever. In the new year, you look at it. You're starting to look forward to Red Dead, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, it's Sea of Thieves out this year.
I don't know.
Sea of Thieves. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Monster Hunter World and Pop-Tarts.
The Pop-Tart game. James?
Yep.
Yakuza, because the first one's been remastered and remade, so there's that.
Oh, shit.
Also, what else was I going to say? I've completely forgotten. It's gone from my head.
Smash.
Sea of Thieves is 2018, by the way. It's a new.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that. Do you know, I do want to play Skyrim, actually, on Switch, because I've not got round to ever playing it on the other platforms.
Oh, you never played it?
No,
Okay.
I own it on 360, but then my 360 is like in a garage now. In fact, in this garage that I'm in right
garage. Just set it up. Just set it up, James.
Yeah.
Unplug your freezer, plug the 360 in, and you're away. Sorted.
now. Also, Wolfenstein 2. Yeah,
Oh,
the new
yeah.
Colossus.
Yeah, that
I'm looking
looks
forward
pretty
to that.
Two I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to.
so-
I'm looking forward to 1.3 patch of No Man's Sky. Don't think I was saying that this time last year.
Last one.
You're doing it again.
10 minutes to midnight,
There
James.
are only 4
It is
questions
actually, yeah.
left to go, and these are quick ones.
10 minutes
Okay.
to midnight.
Can
I
I
don't give a fuck.
can I do Phil Nicklin's one, which was has Matt learned to
No,
ollie
I
yet?
haven't. No, I'm devastated. I haven't done the olling, and I'm doing a great enough run in like 4 weeks, and I've done 4 runs all summer. I don't know what's happened to me. So no ollie yet.
When was the
That'll be
last
next year.
time you got on your skateboard?
What for what?
When was the last time you actually stood on your skateboard?
Probably like 4 weekends ago.
No, right. No,
I've
right.
got two
Go on.
skateboards now, so I should probably learn to skateboard.
You've got 2?
Yeah, I bought like a £70 one last year that glue in the dark. that one was a penny board because Casey Neistat bought a penny board, so I had to have one. And initially I was like, okay, well that's a bit small. I'll get a full size one, and then all my I've said this before. All my Instagram feed is basically people with tattoos and beards and skateboarders. That's what I see all day, every day, and yet I haven't quite done it myself. Next summer, I'll start a YouTube series and I'll do it.
Are you going to get a tattoo?
I do want one, but that's like at least a skateboard I can put in the bin, and the midlife crisis can go away, and I can shave the beard.
You're officially midlife crisis now, I think. You are.
No. I accept it completely. Yeah, and like the tattoo is a very permanent result of that, and I would like to. Jill keeps saying I shouldn't do it.
Do you know, I would love to see like a YouTube series of Matt learning how to skateboard.
I'd watch that. Stream it.
I've thought about it. But really, you need like a camera person with you. Like, I'm not going to be there setting up shots all day.
I'll do it.
Have you seen that video going around on Facebook of that guy that he spends a whole day trying to learn how to backflip?
No.
What?
He spends a whole day, he doesn't know how to backflip, and then he spends a whole day pushing himself to do the backflip, and then he finally does it, right? And it's like a highlights of all of his attempts to try and do this backflip. And I just imagine Matt doing that for an ollie, but when you look down at the bottom of the screen, it's like 6 hours worth of highlights. Like, and it goes over several weeks.
Yeah, there's going to be so much gold in that.
Mate, you say that, right? I've always been like that to people. Oh, you're going for a midlife crisis, man. I've never known anyone to embrace that. That's pretty good.
I definitely am.
I've never thought of it that way.
Transparent glasses. I've grown a beard. What else happened?
What? Well, you got transparent glasses?
I don't mean that. I mean like the frames.
Instead of what, like just like cardboard ones that you can't see through. What are you talking
like
about?
Transparent plastic frames and whatever. I got that.
Oh, right, the frames. Is that a midlife crisis
It's
thing?
a bit like, what the fudge did it like? Shaved my head, grew a beard, bought a skateboard. What else? There's been loads more. Looking at tattoos. There's probably other stuff.
Sports car.
I wish if I had the money, sure. But anyway, next question.
That's it. That's the last one.
Cool. Right. Well, thanks for listening. And thanks for living it. Matt, do you want to tell people that? Just Twitter and that,
yeah, obviously we're on Twitter, our Computer Game Pod, email, etc. We've got Discord, and there's loads of people in there chatting all day, every day. The link to get to Discord is pinned to the top of our Twitter account, so to go there and sign up. It's great fun. We've also started a fantasy football league. If you're into that, we tweeted about that today, but we're tweeting about it. We're tweeting out the code over the next few days because obviously the Premiership starts next weekend or this weekend, as I should say. But if you're into fantasy football and you want to do that, then join the Computer Game Show League, and you can lose basically because we're all brilliant at it. That's about it, I think, for me this week.
Cool. And we'll catch you next week. See you later. Goodbye.
Thanks for living it, Dave.
Goodbye.
I've already said that, Matt.
When did you? Okay, I don't remember him saying it.
Smesh.